Hello everyone, my name is Beth with Bourbon Creek Crafts, and I just have a quick project share for you today. My goal this year is to really try to use up what I have, both paper and embellishments. I've become a paper hoarder, so it's time to really start using this and stop saving it for the perfect project because I never want to use it. It's also pretty. So with this project, I managed to kill off a 12 by 12 paper pad, and I just wanted to share some of the different things that I made with them. There are a lot of great tutorials out on YouTube about how to use up 6 by 6 paper pads, and some of my favorites are Christy Marcotte and Just Crafts, and I know there's some others that I have forgotten, but I haven't found many that use a whole 12 by 12 pad, and as a scrapbooker at heart, that is mainly what I have, are 12 by 12. So you can do a lot more with those, and yeah, so it's just trying to figure out how to use that was kind of a challenge. But I used this Craftsmith paper pad that had 48 sheets. It was blackberry lemon, and I actually got it, it was a $5 hot buy at Michael's a few years ago. And I just fell in love with the yellow, purple, and gray combinations and like these flowers. And when I first bought it, I did use it to make, it was probably 10 to 12 recipe card sets that were used for like a bridal shower thank you gift kind of thing. So after that, I still probably had at least 40 pages left to use up. So decided to just do it. When I started this project, I decided to work with obvious elements first. One of my other goals this year is to keep things simple and stop overthinking. Like, stop thinking about it and just do it. Because I get into the bad habit, like I could deliberate for an hour if this flower was in precisely the right spot. So again, I was trying to keep it quick and simple. I used a lot of card sketches and tried to go with the obvious and first instinct and stop second guessing myself. So starting with the obvious, there were several cut aparts that I just thought would make cute little cards. So like this, Be Brave, Life is Good, Hey You. This was actually a border, like a thick border strip that I cut down and then added a little banner strip to the bottom. I have several of those. This Hi was a journaling card, and so I just added like Hi Lovely just to make it more card friendly. I Love You Every Day. And this Hello I actually cut from the 12 by 12 paper pad because I thought it would make a better card than necessarily a scrapbook page. So I just thought that was really pretty. I don't know if you can see the shimmer and the glitter there. So keeping, again, with the obvious, next I moved to what would work better for the full-size scrapbook page. So like, there was a lot of large patterns that I thought would lend themselves better to the 12 by 12 pages. So that, like this, kind of had like an open blank area, off-white blank area in the center of all the polka dots. And this I made into a 2-page spread. I thought the sunshine was cute, so I managed to tie it together with another page. And then when all was said and done, I did have some larger strips left that I kept and just did a blank scrapbook page that I can add pictures to later. And there are duplicates of these just because I'm weird. If there are pictures that I want both in my album and my daughter's album, I will do duplicate layouts so that we can both have them, which is probably why I'm so far behind on my personal scrapbooking. But next, while I still had some of the larger sheets left to work with, I went through and made some little mini albums. And these are A7 size envelopes that I just used as the album pages, kind of where you tuck the flap in. There are several tutorials on YouTube on how to do this. But I only had like some partial pieces left of one of these, so I decided to use those in the album. And I just kept it, again, simple, not a whole lot of embellishments. People can add that later or make the focus on the pictures. And I have 2 of these, one of which, this one's blank because my daughter, my 7-year-old, has already claimed that one for herself. Wants to do something else with it. And then I have this little one, which is 3.5 by 5 inch size envelopes that are put together for the pages. Again, did a little cut apart journaling card on the front. And I had several of these journaling cards that I didn't really use in my 12 by 12 pages, and wasn't sure if I would be able to use them in the future if I didn't have any of the coordinating paper. So I just put those on like a little card, cut open the ends of the envelopes on some of these pages, and just tuck them in. Additional place where they could journal, and then add some more pictures. Again, there's one of those claps. And today was super awesome. So I got 3 of those. Next, I went through and picked out some of the more solid colored paper to use as my main background on the card. And then there were a bunch of either larger patterns or like multicolored patterns that I decided to use for little bookmarks, so little corner bookmarks. You start with either, I've used anywhere from like a 4 by 4 inch piece to a 5 by 5 inch piece, and you just fold them into a square and you cut off one end and corner of the opposite end, and you can fold them into these little bookmarks. So made a bunch of those. And then back to the cards, again, using sketches that kind of fit with some of the patterns and the scraps that I had. I just went through and tried to mass produce whatever I could off of each card sketch. There were some of these pretty flowers that I cut out. See the shimmer on there? Kind of as the main element for those cards. I had, after cutting down some of my solid bases, I had a bunch of these anywhere from 1.5 to like 2 inch strips. So a lot of my card sketches do involve like using up those. Just another variety of sketches that I used. This one mixed up a little bit with the square and the circle element. And some of these, I had some bigger squares, so I was able to use those. Did stamped owl. And then I had some smaller pieces and decided to work in some circles. Since I'd been working with so many rectangles and squares, I decided to mix it up a little bit. And then from, like I said, you cut off like one whole like corner, like a square of your bigger square for the bookmark, and then the opposite corner. So I had a bunch of like triangle pieces and then square pieces left. So I was trying to figure how to use those. So kind of rounded the corners just to make it a little different. And then I took some of those bigger squares and cut them down into bigger circles. Tried to use those up. That one was just a cute sketch that I thought, it's like kind of a simple card. And then from the triangle pieces, I got a bunch of little bitty circles. So trying to make cards with those. And then again, this is just a card background made with some of those like 1.5 to 2 inch strips. Use those to match a little picture. And then I got done and I had tons of these little bitty thin strips left. So I did find a sketch that involved those. And I made a couple of those, and I probably could have made more, but by this point, I to be honest, I was over it. I was over the paper. I was over the project, just ready to be done. So most of the cards have, like a little banner strip or something on the inside, just to give the inside of the card a little decoration. So that's what I did with the rest of those little strips. And when all was said and done, I had 4 journaling cards left, which these are like solid, that light purple and like the yellow, just solid, kind of simple. So I figured I might be able to reuse those in future scrapbook pages. Because I only have to match up, a couple colors. And then I had these little scraps, some of the embellishments I had made for my pages, extra owls I'd stamped, and just little bitty pieces. And so I'm going to hand those to my daughter with her little mini album that she has, and she can go to town embellishing her own album. So out of this 12 by 12 pad that had 48 pages, I managed to get 12 recipe card sets, 9 12 by 12 size scrapbook pages, 82 greeting cards, most of which are A2 size. other than these two Hello ones. They are A7, like that 5x7 size. I got two A7 or 5x7 mini albums, and then a 3.5 by 5 mini album, and then 26 corner bookmarks. So obviously the 12 by 12 pages are for me and my daughter. The mini albums, one is for her. These other two will go for sale in our next craft show. I always like to have some scrapbooks that are like a lower price point, because not everybody either wants to or can afford to spend, upwards of $25 on a scrapbook. And these are also great for like younger kids, teens, who maybe want to buy their own or buy them as a gift. So the corner bookmarks I use when you order from our Etsy shop. I kind of include this as a little free gift, and also it holds, like I could stick the packing slip and thank you card and business card in here, and it kind of holds all of our little paperwork together within the order. And the greeting cards, most of those are going to be donated to Cards for Soldiers, and I will keep a handful that out to use for my random acts of kindness group that I am also involved in. So that is everything. I feel like I got a lot out of this. I got my money's worth out of the paper pad. And I know scrapbooking, paper crafting, card making can get expensive because there are so many tools and papers and embellishments to choose from, and you can get caught up in the hoarding of it all, like I myself have. But I also wanted to show with this, it can be simple and it can be budget friendly. $5. This pad was $5. You can get pre-made card bases at Michael's in a pack. I think it's like 25, and sometimes you can get them on sale for $2.50, and sometimes even $2 when, like, especially Black Friday. So $5, $2.50, maybe 2 packs. So there's your $10. Some adhesive, and look, like you can make cards. Like these would make great gifts. You can package them together to give as gifts at Christmas time or for birthdays or Mother's Day. Or you have your stash for the year. You can make all types of sentiments. So paper crafting can be budget friendly. You just need to break it down and simplify it. But I hope I have inspired some of you to use up your 12 by 12 pads and given you some different ideas on how to do that. I hope to have some more Kilopad projects this year, again, using the 12 by 12 size, because as a scrapbooker, that's what I mainly have. So I will be sure to share those with you as I go. But I do thank you so much for watching, taking your time with me today. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And you can go subscribe to our channel for future project shares. Eventually, I hope to have some tutorials as well. But I thank you again so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day.